All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Yvonne Litza, and I'll be hosting this webinar. This webinar is going out to everybody who signed up at the Young Living booth at the 2015 Equine Affair in Columbus, Ohio, just a little over a week ago. Sorry I'm late in getting this webinar out to you guys. I got back from the webinar, or from the Ohio event, and between moving and getting ready for the event, and then being at the event, I'd really let myself get worn down. I was definitely, as they say, burning the candle at both ends for about a month prior to that event. So I came home and I got really sick last Monday. But I put my money where my mouth was, definitely, and used the oils and the supplements. Thank God for Ningxia Red and Thieves. They really got me through everything I went through last week, especially with the cold and the sore throat part. The Thieves comes in hugely handy for that. And then I used a bunch of RC, and I actually raindropped, my fiance raindropped me a couple times, which we'll talk about more about the raindrop technique. You'll hear a lot about that technique as a Young Living member, especially Young Living people who like to work with horses. We use the raindrop a lot. So through that, I was actually getting better pretty quickly. And then it just took me a while to get caught up with everything from the show. We had an amazing event. We met some of the most wonderful people at Equine Affair, and we have a lot of great things planned coming out of this event, some things that we had thought about prior to the event, and then a bunch of great ideas meeting new people there. So I hope you guys have had a chance to actually really tear into those boxes that you got at the event. And if you didn't, if you weren't one of the people who took the product home with you, you should be receiving it. Either you got it last Friday or the first day or two of this week, you should be receiving it. I hope you have enjoyed using what you've already gotten. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go through, or today, we're going to go through a little bit again, just briefly go through the kit, everything you got in there. So in case you have felt a little unsure or hesitant about really diving into this, I want to make sure you get that box open, because this coming Wednesday, the 22nd, we are going to do our first in the webinar series that we had promised you, which is the intro to essential oils. So today we're just going to cover real briefly. I'm going to try to keep this to 30 minutes or less. We're just going to cover briefly going through the kit and making sure you're familiar with everything in there and start using it, especially that diffuser, guys. And then on Wednesday night, I really hope you join us live, because that's going to be when we start talking about the nitty-gritty about the oils. What are they? How do you use them? Where do they come from? Are these some newfangled woo-woo things, or is there some science behind this stuff? So I hope you join us for that on Wednesday night. But for now, let's cover your starter kit. Let's get into opening those boxes and using them. So where we're going to start right now, quick, is just looking at the overview of what's in the box or boxes. Now, you also got a couple extra things. You've got the diffuser, you've got the Young Living backpack, and you also got a desk reference book if you bought the premium starter kit, or if you brought the premium starter kit plus package. You got 2 diffusers and 2 books. So there's some stuff that won't be on here completely, but this is the Young Living starter kit in general. This is what gets you that wholesale membership account. Remember, you're purchasing at the same cost that I am. You now have a wholesale account with Young Living. No one's out there buying it cheaper than you. Not from Young Living directly anyways. So if you see these for sale on Amazon or eBay, I really caution you. What I have found out, and unfortunately members have fallen victim to buying these oils on eBay and Amazon, because I wondered, I'm like, how can I find, a bottle of lavender, Young Living lavender, for less on Amazon than what I buy, or the same price, and not, no shipping or charged? How can they be buying it at less than I am? And what I have found out is that they're not. They're purchasing at the exact same price I am. You can buy resealable bottle caps for these Young Living oil bottles, or for any 15 ml dropper bottles. And you can actually adulter those oils. You can take the real lavender out, put, keep some of the lavender in there and fill it up with coconut oil or any other or a cheaper version of lavender, fill it back up and actually put a new top on so that it looks like it's brand new, never been opened. And yet it has been opened, it's been adulterated. So I found out that that's actually what they're doing. And I don't know why. I mean, why people worry, why try to scam people out of this? I don't get it, but be buyer beware. If it's not coming directly from Young Living, be very careful. So, okay, so what's in that box? You've got your everyday oils, the 10 bottles, 5 milliliters each. And like I said, we're going to start covering those particular oils on Wednesday night going through the intro. So join us for that. You've got a wholesale member agreement in the white box. The wholesale member agreement, product guide, and product price list are in there. So make sure that, so I've had people open up that white box and they take out the stress away bottle and the sample packets and a little bit, but they don't realize there's paperwork behind there. So you've got a wholesale member. Some of the white boxes did not have a product guide in there. If yours doesn't have a product guide in there, let me know. I'll make sure to get you one. I've actually ordered some extra ones to make sure I have plenty to send out to our new members. Obviously, you've got also a home diffuser. This is very important. This is the creme de la creme of this package. This kit used to cost the exact same amount a little over a year and a half ago. Young Living went from giving just a $40 credit when you got a membership kit, you got a $40 credit coupon in there towards this exact same diffuser, the exact same one, the home diffuser from Young Living. It retailed, I think, or wholesale. You can purchase it through your wholesale account for like $85 when they're in inventory. They're actually out of inventory right now for individual purchase. But when they're in inventory, you can purchase this for like $85. So Young Living used to give you a $40 coupon towards that. And then, so basically then you paid $40 in addition to the same amount you paid for the wholesale kit for another diffuser. The interesting thing was now they took this diffuser. Gary Young, the founder of Young Living, was like, not enough people are redeeming those diffuser coupons. But they didn't want to up the price of the actual kit itself. So Young Living ate what little profit they made on this kit and said, you know what? Everyone needs to have a diffuser in their home because it's the easiest, quickest way for everyone in your household to benefit from the use of the oils. And remember, this is a cold air diffuser. Hopefully you saw it in the booth with us. It's a cold air diffuser. So what happens is you fill it up with a little bit of water, the distilled water is best, and you put the oil in, you drop it in there, and it puts it out onto the cold air. As we breathe it in, the molecules of essential oils are on those on that water, and we inhale it, and it goes into our lungs, so the oils can start working and getting into our bodies as quickly as we breathe it. And if you don't think that it actually gets into your blood, you're wrong, because they've done research with students. Always students are guinea pigs. They've done research with students, and after just inhaling rosemary, within 15 minutes, they were able to see the molecules of rosemary came up in the bloodstream. So yes, the essential oils, when you inhale it, make sure that you're inhaling it from a cold air diffuser so you get the full action of those oils. You also get two sample packets of the Ningxia Red. We're not covering much tonight of Ningxia Red, but if you haven't already taken those sample packets, do so. The 5 ml Stress Away roll-on is in there, and you also have the rollerball filament. Now you can use that rollerball filament in any essential oil bottle from Young Living. They just give it they like to put it with the Stress Away bottle because it's such an appropriate oil to roll onto your body. Then you also got those sample packets, but I don't really like to think of them as sample packets. They're more, for me, they're travel packets. I keep these in my purse all the time. The reason is because they have 6 to 8 drops of the essential oils in there. That's a lot of oils. That's a whole lot of oils. So if you take those sample packets, or those travel packets as we call them, and you keep those in your purse or in your gym bag or in your wallet, carry it with you at all times. You have a lot of essential oils with you, ready to work with in any situation. Now the business card holders, that hold those sample packets, that is for those of us who like to share about the oils, because it's a great way to hand those to your friends to start introducing them. So let's get a little bit more into these components individually. Now we just went over a little bit about the diffuser, but just a recap. This is a cold air diffuser, and it's from Young Living. It covers up to about 1,500 square foot of the house. So this is a house diffuser. This isn't a room diffuser. You can use it as a room diffuser, but you want to add just a couple drops of oils. If you're using it as a whole house diffuser, just take it out of the box, remove the top by gently pulling straight up on that top, fill it to the line, the ledge inside with the water, add oils, about 8 to 10 drops for a full diffuser of water. Excuse me, I'm still clearing my throat a little bit. So 8 to 10 drops for a full diffuser of water. And then plug it in. When you plug it in, you just kind of want to make sure that the cord isn't wrapped up underneath the diffuser, because you want to make sure it's laying flat, sitting flat on the surface, so the water won't spill out. And then press the button under the Young Living. Look at the directions, because you can change the rate the light is on. You can change it from constant to intermittent diffusion of the oils. You want to just read the whole instruction booklet first before using it your first time. It's very, very simple, but I want to make sure you get the maximum benefit out of using the oils and this diffuser, and there's a couple different ways to use it. So you're going to want to use it based on the size of the room and what you're working for. If you're just wanting it to have a nice fragrance, like let's say you're just doing some lemon in the air, you want to help uplift everybody's spirit, you want to purify the air a little bit, but you want to keep the scent really light and pleasant, you can put it on intermittent and just put about 4 to 5 drops of the oil in. But now if you're like me and you were sick last week and you wanted to keep everybody else in the house from getting sick, I was putting 10 drops of Thieves in there and leaving it run continuously in the house. Luckily, it did the job, because boy, I had people in and out of my house and nobody, luckily, knock on wood, got sick. So this is a great tool to use for prevention as well as helping you when you are sick. Because at night, I put this diffuser in our bedroom and I close the door. Now our bedroom's about 10 by 15. It's not a huge room, but it's a good size room. But I didn't leave it running continuously. I put about 6 drops of RC in there then to help my breathing and helping to open up and dilate my lung passages, so that it could breathe better all night long. And I put it on so that it went on and off throughout the course of the night, and so it lasted all night long. So there's many different ways that you use this, and it's a great tool to have on hand when you're getting into using essential oils. So diffuser troubleshooting. Remember, you've got a year warranty on this. You're going to be getting all of your information from me. Sometime this week, you'll get a packet of information in the mail. So you'll have your member info, your login info, all sorts of resources. With that, you'll have the number to call Young Living. You'll have your member number. If you have any issues with the diffuser, just contact Young Living. They'll look up, when you got your starter kit, and they'll say if it was within the year of you getting your starter kit, they'll replace that diffuser if that's what needs to be done. So the known issues with the lids, we haven't been having so much issues in the last few months, but previously we were having a bit of issues with the lids breaking. Young Living always just replace those lids, no question asked. Contact customer service at Young Living and they will ship you another diffuser and pay for your return shipping if that's what's needed to be done. So the customer service at Young Living is fabulous. You're going to love it. Hopefully you don't have to deal with it too much, but in case you do, the diffusers are warranted for a year, so make sure you use it. Inserting and removing the roller ball. Sometimes this is actually the one I get the most questions on when people start working with it. It's very easy. You can, like I said, you can take any Young Living drip bottle, a 5 or a 15 ml. You take and you unscrew the current cap on it. Remove the plastic reducer lid. So that's that little white plastic lid that's plugged into the actual bottle. Remove that. Drop in the roller filament. Now don't try to push the roller filament down with your hand. Take the black cap for the roller filament, put the black cap, and then screw that down, because that will push it in gently and evenly until you hear it click, and then your roller ball is seated. You're all set. Now to remove it, honestly, these suckers are hard to remove. It says to unscrew the black lid until it's almost off completely, snap off black lid to pry the roller ball off. I have actually not had luck with that. What I have done in the past, I've taken the black lid all the way off, and I've used needle nose pliers to remove the rollerball cap. In reality, these things are very inexpensive from Young Living. I just have a ton of them laying around, so I don't always reuse the roller cap, but you can if you need to. Okay, what do I do with my Ningxia Red samples? Like I said, we're not actually going to have talk a lot about Ningxia Red because we're going to cover that more in depth next in the next few webinars. That actually may not be on Wednesday nights, but we're going to have a webinar or two strictly towards the supplements of Young Living. But you want to drink this when it's colder. It just tastes much better when it's colder. So throw those things in the refrigerator if you haven't already drinking them. And remember what I told you when we were at the show. These things are from puree. They're not from concentrate. So you want to make sure you shake it up really well so that you can get all of the benefits so that the puree portion, the thicker portion, doesn't stay in the bottom of the little pouch. These are 2-ounce pouches. That's your daily recommended dose of Ningxia Red from Young Living. So take this. It's our antioxidant supplement. It has 9 out of the 10 required antioxidants for your body. So it will really help you in so many ways. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. So many people get just amazing benefits from using Ningxia Red. I really hope you take the time to use this. Okay. Now let's talk about some things that you can have, that you hopefully you have on hand at home, and some things you might want to use as you start getting into using the oils, especially for those of us with animals. A lot of times we're going to dilute the oils, or we need little things to help us apply the oils, or a lot of times we'll for those of us with horses, we're going to use these as hoof soaks or even poultices. So having some things on hand to help us get to use the oils is really a good idea. First thing, carrier oils. Some of the oils are just plain hot, and they can, although they don't damage the skin, they really don't. I had raindrops done on me, the last 2 in the last 4 days. And in the raindrop is the oil of oregano. And you'll see online, if you look online, tons of, oh my God, cautions about using oregano straight on the skin. My fiance, he put like 6 or 8 drops of oregano on me, which is a lot. Seriously, on him, I put like 5 because it's a very powerful oil. It's not that it hurts me having that many, but it's just a very powerful oil. I don't need to use that many, and I'm kind of stingy. I don't like to use more than I need simply because it costs money. So I always err on the side of caution and just use a little bit less. But he used about 6 to 8 drops on me, and my skin was completely fine from it. When we're working with animals, I tend to be a little more cautious because they're not going to be as forgiving if I make their skin hot. If my back gets a little hot, I'm like, oh, well, it's all right. It's not burning my skin. I know that. Horses are not so sure about that. And if I make their skin feel bad, they may not want me to put oils on them again. So I tend to err on the side of caution and usually dilute any oil that I suspect to be hot. And again, on Wednesday night, we're going to talk about what hot oils mean. So having a carrier oil like grapeseed, coconut's my favorite actually, jojoba oil, olive oil, any fatty oil base is great for diluting your essential oils with. Epsom salts, if you're doing soaks, is great, especially if you're like soaking hooves or like even if you're just going to take a bath. Putting the oils in Epsom salts to help it disperse throughout the water is what you want to do. Glass or plastic containers with lids. Now remember, we're talking about this on Wednesday, but essential oils degrade plastic. So if you're going to put them in a plastic container, the plastic has to be that really, really hard plastic, not the soft plastic like, bottled water that you buy at the expos. It's better off to put it in glass. That's the best form of if you're going to store any essential oils in a liquid form. Labels are handy because once you make a concoction, if you're going to make up some massage blends or an individual treatment for a horse, you want to have a label that says what horse this is for and what you all put in there so you can duplicate it. If, as it starts to work on them, you can make sure you do this exact same blend for them again. Size 00 gelatin or veggie capsules. I recommend not gelatin. Veggie capsules are always better. Size 00 veggie caps are great so that you have something you can take the oils in. Sorry about that. Okay. Nice to have glass dropper bottles. I find that this is really, really helpful as we like to give them to animals. It's really, really helpful to have that to like to put the fatty oil with the essential oils in it, so you can drop it into their mouth. You can drop it easily along their coat. It's just a lot easier to have a dropper bottle, or even a syringe applicator. A lot of times I'll have dosing syringes, and I'll just fill the syringe base without a needle, no needle. Fill the syringe base and then squirt it into the horse's or the dog's mouth. That makes it easy for giving them the essential oils. Okay, so on to using the oils topically. Following the directions in the back of the bottle is always best. So if it says dilute, go ahead and dilute. Especially err on the side of caution. If like oregano and cinnamon, common sense tells us that these are kind of hotter, or what we call them, a little bit more reactive essential oils. So go ahead and dilute this with those fatty oils we were just talking about, the jojoba oil, the coconut oil, the olive oil. And as long as the dilution substrate is organic, you want to make sure that you're not diluting with something that's chemical laden. So this is not a time to use your olive oil or any of the commercial food oils, because those will have in it, could possibly have in it, adulterants. So you want to make sure that it's an organic oil base. Fractionated coconut oil, easy to find organic oil. Jojoba oil, easy to find organic oil. Olive oil, easy to find organic oil. So those are the kinds of things that you can use. And you're never, what I want people to remember is that they're not going to degrade the essential oil by diluting it with a fatty oil. It seems like we've gotten on the bandwagon a little bit lately because Young Living oils are the purest available, and because we can put them on neat onto the body. It's that we have to put them onto the body neat. We don't have to. We can easily dilute it, and sometimes it is best for not only the animal, as far as the feeling on their skin, but also for the efficacy of the essential oil, to put it with a fatty oil. Remember, some of these are very volatile. And again, we're going to start covering this on Wednesday night when we go into a little bit of the intro, and we'll cover it more in depth when we get to the chemistry. But I want you to remember that these are volatile oils, which simply means that they evaporate quick. They have a low flash point. So what happens is, as soon as you put this onto your skin, yes, the skin does start absorbing it, but for those really light, easy to pick up on the air chemical constituents in the essential oil, some of it can evaporate off, which means you don't get to absorb it into the body. If you combine the essential oil with a fatty oil, however, you bind those aromatic molecules much more to the fatty oil, and thus they all absorb into the skin. Yes, it takes longer to absorb into the skin, but I'd rather have it take longer to absorb into the skin than some of the notes flash off and just go into the breeze. So go ahead and use a carrier oil. If you want to dilute absolutely every essential oil from Young Living before you put it on topically, go right ahead. There is absolutely no rules saying you can't, as long as it's an organic fatty oil that you're diluting it with. I have absolutely no problem with it. And on my little dogs, I have a 10-pound Bichon and a 10-pound poodle. 90% of the oils that I put on them, I do dilute. More so because I need a very small amount of essential oil. I really don't even need a drop of essential oil. So a lot of times if I'm working with them, I'll take a little 1-ounce bottle. I have little 1-ounce plastic bottles. I'll put like, a quarter to a half an ounce of my carrier oil in there. I'll add my 2 to 3 drops of essential oil, mix it together in there, and then apply that to my dogs, because they just don't need a lot of essential oils. And again, I don't want to waste it. So if they're more comfortable with me diluting it, and I'm still getting the absolute potency out of the essential oil, why not go ahead and dilute? There's nothing to say you can't. Sorry, let's go on to the creams. Coconut oil, beeswax, jojoba oil. These are great ways to start making creams this past Christmas. I just did a little experiment. I just did it because I was in this, do-it-yourself mode. And I wanted to make everybody kind of a homemade. I come from a large family, so I can't just, buy everybody a present. And sometimes I'm like, it doesn't feel personal, and I don't, some of my family members, I'm not around them day in and day out. So I don't even know what they have and what they don't have. And I'm like, rather than just buying some trinket, so that I have something to wrap and put under the Christmas tree, I thought, well, this year I'm like, hey, I have these amazing essential oils. I said, I'm just going to make some fun things. I made some candies, which, yeah, I know we're not supposed to have candies, but I made some peppermint candies and a couple of wintergreen candies. They were amazing. I made face creams. I made face cream with Stress Away and coconut oil and beeswax and vitamin E. It was the hit of Christmas. You would have thought I had found the holy grail. Everybody just raved about this cream. Not only how good it felt on the skin, but also how it was helping them at night going to sleep. And I'm like, really? Wow! I just kind of whipped this up together in my kitchen. It took longer to get the component to set than it did to actually make it. I'd say total making time was about a half hour for a dozen jars. So it was so easy to make my own cream at home and so inexpensive. Sometimes I feel almost, a little wanton buying any kind of facial cream when I can make such a great product at home using these essential oils. And on the other stuff I bought organic off of Amazon. It was great. So you can make your own creams. You can make your own salves. A lot of times we like to have antibacterial salves in the barn. We're going to talk a lot about animal sense ointment in the future, which is my salve in the barn, but you can also make your own. In fact, I found a couple recipes I'll be sharing here in a couple upcoming emails soon. I found some great recipes for some antibacterial blends or salves to keep in the barn. Some that, for closed skin. So that means it's got a little bit hotter essential oils in it. And then some for open wounds. They look great. I'm going to try them out and I'll let you know what happens. And then of course, in an Epsom salt bath, I think we talked about this a little bit. It's great to soak in an Epsom salt bath, and the Epsom salts themselves have great benefits for our body, but the Epsom salts will also help disperse the essential oils evenly through the water. So whenever you're adding essential oils to the water, you want something to help it dissolve through the water and not just float on top. Okay, how to make capsules. We talked a little bit about veggie capsules. Now this little setup in the pictures here, that's really extreme. I don't have one of those. If you've got some spare foam, it looks easy to make. I simply hold it in my hands. You can either drip it into the capsule right from the bottle, or you can take those little dropper bottle things. You can simply put a few drops right from the dropper bottle. It's really easy to go ahead and make your own veggie caps. If you're new to taking essential oils and turn it, put some fatty oil in the veggie cap and start out with just 1 or 2 drops. The essential oils will change the pH of your stomach. We want our stomachs to be very acidic. It's the first part of our digestive system. It helps to break things down. So the essential oils, if you hit it with too much essential oils, you can change the acidity. That can upset your stomach. Again, you're not harming your body, but you can feel a little unpleasant. Until your body's acclimated to it, use the essential oils, use things that will help slow the dissolution or the absorption into your body. So use some fatty oils to help slow the absorption of the essential oils into your stomach. Okay, so what else can you do with the oils? Talk just a little bit about this. We're going to go and we'll do a lot of make and take stuff, and you'll get emails from me on this stuff. This is really fun, and this is where you can start sharing about the oils very easily with your friends, but B, you can save yourself a lot of money during the summer. Sunscreens, there's great information. That unskinnyboppy.com has great recipes, and you can go to Pinterest. I saw some amazing recipes out there, and just about for everything. And I'm telling you, sunscreen is really, really good. Use a little bit of myrrh in whatever sunscreen you make. Myrrh has really been shown to inhibit the effects of sun and the UV absorption. We know that we got bug sprays. You'll see emails coming out me as we're coming into spring here. You'll see emails from me coming out soon about how to make your own bug sprays. Body lotions, bath and shower gels, lip balms. You can make your own lip balm in any flavor you want. Candles, I always kind of say, these are therapeutic grade oils. They're a little more expensive. The problem with candles is whenever you heat an essential oil, you degrade the chemical constituents of that oil. So yes, you'll still get the scent, but you won't get any of the therapeutic benefits. So please don't make candles and give them to people thinking you're actually going to help their health, because you're not. You're going to give them an oil, or you're going to give them a candle that won't detract from their health. I mean, it'll be a healthy candle, but you can use other less expensive oils to make candles, because you really do degrade any of the benefits with when you heat it. And shaving creams. The list really does go on and on. Have fun with this. Saw a great recipe the other day for replacement of a soft scrub. I gotta try that out and let you guys know how it works, because I just love being able to do this from my home inexpensively. Make sure my house is absolutely non-toxic. Everything going into my body is non-toxic, and everything that goes on my body is non-toxic. And again, we'll talk about this more Tuesday night, but remember, everything you put on your skin goes into your bloodstream. Okay, so we're getting close to the end here. Just wanted to let you know some of the favorite products outside of our kit. Now this is recorded, so go back, look through these names again and again. Lemongrass, RC, Digize, Copaiba, Cedarwood, Melrose, Deep Relief, and the Thieves Cleaner. As some of you might have heard me talking about at the expo last week, that Thieves Cleaner is my shampoo. I don't actually even buy the Young Living shampoo for my animals. I love the Thieves Cleaner because it helps to disinfect, it cleans, and it's in a fatty oil base. So it's wonderful for helping them for their coat to stay clear and clean without stripping the oils from it. Lemongrass, it's great for digestive aid, but it's also wonderful for any kind of tendon and ligament attachments. RC, hey, that's what I'm diffusing right now for my cold. And trust me, I'm really stressing my voice by actually talking for a half hour, so we're going to have to wrap this up soon. Digize. Oh, yeah, as a horse owner, I can't say enough about Digize, and everyone should have this one in the bottle. This one, just think digestive upset, and what with horses do we deal with digestive upsets? Copaiba, great for helping fight against inflammation. Cedarwood is high in sesquiterpenes, which cross the blood-brain barrier. Melrose is a gentle, basically antibacterial that wonderful to use right onto minor wounds. Deep Relief, pain relief in a bottle. Again, we're going to cover these again more in depth on Wednesday night, but just reading below some of these gives you a brief description of some of the uses. And also you can see, you guys are the wholesale members, so you're getting the wholesale cost. You can see what these things cost retail if somebody wants to just go to the Young Living website and buy them. Now you can see how some of the savings having a wholesale account is really going to add up over the course of a few orders. So you want to get more oils. How do you get them? All you have to do is place a regular order or set up for essential rewards. In the packet that I send you, you're going to get more information how to do an essential rewards. Basically, what it means is if you're using the products and you like to have safe, non-toxic products in your home and use them every month, as well as, feeding yourself the best quality supplements on the market, essential rewards makes sense because it's just a monthly order. The neat thing about it is you get to choose what product you want each month. You don't keep getting the same thing again and again and again. It also gives you better rates on the shipping. It gives you preferential product orders. So that means if they're getting low on quantities of a certain product item, they're going to fill the essential order shipments first before they fill the regular order shipments. And that means that if there's any left in inventory, you will get those products before a regular order gets those products. Also, this is the way you start getting free product from Young Living. Again, we'll talk about more essential rewards in the beginning, but just so that you know that it's available and an option for you out there, and it's a really great program that Young Living runs. Okay, so you still have questions, which I hope you do, because we basically covered really no questions other than just what you got in that box. Again, we're going to start this Wednesday with our Intro to Essential Oils, and we're going to be covering for the course of the next 4 weeks Intro and Basic Chemistry of Essential Oils. So look for those emails, and until then, if you got the Premium Starter Kit, you would have gotten a essential oil pocket reference like the one that's shown in the picture here. This is a great place to start learning about the oils. Remember, the individual oils and the blends are in the front of the book and conditions are in the back. Pull that book, flip out through it. Look at the very least, take the oils that you have, the 11 oils that you got in this kit, and look those oils up and just read what those oils are good for, just the little bit they give you in that book. It'll give you an idea of some of the things that you can start working with. So again, my name is Yvonne, and I will be doing a few more of these webinars. Just wanted to let you know that this webinar was for educational purposes only. Nothing in this webinar was meant to diagnose, treat, prescribe, or propose to cure anything or any maladies for horses or people. So please, if you have any issues with your animal that needs veterinary attention, please do consult a veterinary professional. If you want to look into using oils and how you can increase your animal's health as well as yourself, start with this book and look for the next webinar that will be coming up shortly. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.